The year was 2167. Earth had flourished in peace for decades, its technological advancements pushing humanity into an era of prosperity. The cities gleamed with clean energy, and the once turbulent world was unified under a single banner of cooperation. People lived without the fears of war or scarcity, focusing on exploration and discovery. But that peace was about to be shattered. It started on an ordinary Tuesday. At first, there were only vague reports of strange signals intercepted by Earth's most advanced satellites. Experts from around the world dismissed them as interference, random bursts from distant stars, or the typical cosmic noise that had puzzled scientists for years. But the signals were different this time. They were precise. They had a pattern. The first attack came without warning. A massive alien fleet appeared over Earth's atmosphere. Their ships were unlike anything humanity had ever seen, sleek, black, and menacing. They hovered over the skies of every major city, blocking out the sun. Communication attempts failed. The world was paralyzed with fear. Governments scrambled to respond. Military forces were mobilized, and humanity's most advanced weapons were readied. But it was all for naught. The alien ships unleashed a devastating wave of energy, wiping out cities in mere moments. Resistance was futile. Earth's best efforts couldn't even scratch the invaders' ships. The aliens struck swiftly, and their force seemed unstoppable. But amidst the chaos, there were whispers of an ancient secret. In the deep caverns beneath the surface of Earth, the places where even the most powerful satellites couldn't reach, an ancient fleet lay dormant, humanity's greatest weapon, hidden away for centuries. These ships were remnants of a lost era, built long before the peaceful age had arrived. They were relics of a time when humanity had fought and conquered across the stars. They were humanity's last hope. The fleet had been forgotten, a myth passed down through generations, regarded as nothing more than a story. But the old legends were about to come alive. The discovery came through a lone scientist, Dr. Evelyn Hayes. She had spent her career studying the ancient texts, researching the lost history of Earth's earliest space explorations. Dr. Hayes had been dismissed by most of her colleagues as a dreamer, but she knew something that they didn't. Humanity had once possessed a fleet of warships capable of turning the tide in any battle. These ships had been buried underground, hidden away in secret locations known only to a select few. As the alien assault on Earth continued, Dr. Hayes was contacted by a small group of military leaders who had learned of her research. They had no other choice. Desperate and running out of time, they sought her expertise to uncover the hidden fleet. Dr. Hayes led them to a forgotten military base in the remote wilderness of Alaska. Beneath the ice, hidden for centuries, the entrance to a vast underground hangar was discovered. The massive doors opened with a loud groan, revealing the ships, sleek, powerful, and brimming with technology far beyond anything humanity had today. The ships were powered by a rare energy source, one that had been lost to time. They were equipped with weapons that could disintegrate entire fleets, and their hulls were impervious to any known attack. It was clear that humanity's ancestors had anticipated such a moment, but they had never imagined it would come to this. With no time to waste, the ancient fleet was revived. The ships, long dormant, roared to life as their systems powered up. The first few test flights were shaky, but soon the fleet was ready for battle. There was one more challenge. These ships had been built to be piloted by humanity's best. Only the most skilled pilots could control them, and even the best in the current age would need training. Time was running out. Dr. Hayes, along with a small team of elite pilots, began a crash course on how to operate the ancient warships. The pilots were selected based on their experience and skills, but there was something else. They were chosen because they embodied the spirit of humanity's old fighting will. They were survivors, the kind of people who would never give up, no matter the odds. As the alien fleet continued its relentless assault, humanity's ancient warriors prepared to strike back. The world held its breath. The moment finally arrived. The fleet of ancient ships ascended from the hangar, rising into the sky with a thunderous roar. The world watched as these forgotten giants took to the air, their powerful engines tearing through the atmosphere. The alien ships, seemingly invincible until now, turned their attention to the incoming threat. It didn't take long for the two fleets to meet. The battle was fierce, a clash of old and new. The alien ships were fast and maneuverable, but the ancient fleet had something they didn't experience. The pilots knew their ships better than anyone, each movement instinctive, each attack calculated with precision. They adapted quickly, learning the strengths and weaknesses of the alien invaders. Humanity's ancient fleet unleashed a wave of destruction. Their weapons lit up the sky, tearing through alien shields and ripping apart their ships. The aliens, caught off guard by the sudden resistance, fought back with everything they had, but their efforts were in vain. The tide of the battle began to turn. The once unstoppable alien force was now on the retreat. Humanity, with its ancient fleet awakened, had fought back. The skies were no longer filled with fear, but with hope. The ancient ships, long thought to be nothing more than relics, had saved humanity from the brink of annihilation. The alien forces were forced to retreat, their ships limping back to the void from which they came. Earth, battered but not broken, had survived. The battle was over, but the war for humanity's future had just begun. As the world celebrated its victory, Dr. Hayes and her team stood together, watching the ancient ships land once more. The fleet was no longer a myth. It was a symbol, a reminder that humanity's strength lay not only in the technology it had built, but in the spirit that had once sent its ancestors into the stars to fight. And as the ancient fleet slowly descended back into the earth, it was clear that humanity was ready for whatever came next. The future was theirs to shape. The age of peace was over, but the age of humanity's true potential had just begun.